Welcome back to movementprofessional.com. So I'm going to demonstrate some barbell overhead hip hinge variations, which are forms of loaded mobility. So we'll start in standing, and we'll look at the profile. Start by just pulling the bar into kind of from overhead to a hyper overhead position. Get the body set, about shoulder width position, and then just hinge like a good morning. So the bar will go from the top of the head to right on top of the scapula, and we're going to do that for a few reps. You really want to be active in the shoulders as you go through this process. So you want to try to create some retraction in the scapulas. You want to be creating torque on the bar to promote external rotation. And if you do have some hypermobility in your shoulders, this is not the best exercise for you because it'll just create a sense of anterior translation to the head of the humerus. But if you do have some tight shoulders and tight pecs and a tight posterior chain or just a tight hip hinge, it can help to connect the two nicely. All right, so you can see I'm exploring going from a good morning and dropping down into an overhead squat while maintaining that same overhead or hyper overhead position. The goal would be to, over time, get your hands a little bit closer together without the elbows bending as well. All right, so it's a very light bar. I think I'm using a 15-pound aluminum bar there, so you don't really need much load, but some load is often better than none to give you some feedback and to just really keep your hands in place. Too much load can be absolutely dangerous if you're testing out these end ranges with your shoulders in those unstable positions. Okay, and then we can migrate down to the ground. Working a same idea of a hip hinge, but now we're going to be in a straddle position. And when you're sitting on the ground, there's going to be much more of a tendency for the spine to go in flexion. All right, so the pulling back of the shoulder blades and kind of pulling the barbell back can really help to counter the body's ability to, or counter the body's compensation into flexion. So it can help you improve your hip hinge in these tight seated positions. All right, also gives you a little bit of load once you get your head and shoulders in front of the line of gravity. You can hang out there and the load will actually increase the stretch and give you some direction. Then we're going to bring the feet together into a long sit, and it's really the same idea here. This is just more pure posterior chain. There's no adductor tension that you have to be concerned with. You come in and out of it, and just again be very active with the shoulders, creating external rotation, retraction, trying to keep the chest kind of reaching forward, not just reaching the hands back. All right, and then be active in your middle too. So you want to actively pull your belly towards your thighs as opposed to just falling forward. All right, and then when you're down there, you use your breathing to try to deepen into the position. All right, so some of these sitting positions can be very difficult to make any headway with, so adding a little bit of load sometimes is absolutely necessary to make any change. If you have any questions, you can go to movementprofessional.com. I'll see you next time.